Hey y'all, today on Maverick Gun Works we're going to take apart this good old Mossberg 500. This is 20 gauge that gentleman uses for rabbit hunting, and he had a problem with it, the safety actually. You see the safety is on, it's on fire mode right now, but it will not come off safety. It only moves a tiny bit. So we've had, I'm sorry, it's in the fire mode, it won't go to safety. How about that? I'm trying to get my wording right here. Y'all kind of bear with me though. Good old Southern English don't always cooperate like it should. How about that? Anyway, we're going to take it apart and see what's wrong with it. Okay, here we go. So to do that, I'm going to take the trigger group out of it. We'll clamp it in our vise here. Punch out, use my brass punch. Punch our pin out. We'll pull the trigger guard up and out, and geez, man, looks like he's been through a looks like he's been through a hayfield and used the gun to knock the hay down. Looks like that might be the problem with it. Let's see. All right, without the trigger in it, the safety appears to be moving like it should, I think. Actually, let's take it. Get it out of the vise here. Give me a minute here. And when you take these things out, like take the trigger group out of it, you got to realize you're going to have some of the bars on the inside are going to fall apart. So you've got your shell stop and shell interrupter latches just sit into the side of the frame, inside the frame. So they're going to be falling out for you. And good gracious. This is probably the issue. We're going to put it back together in a minute and find out, but if we get a close-up maybe of that, you can see all of the debris from being in the field, what it amounts to. Man's been rabbit hunting, bird hunting with it, and you're getting into a lot of places that have a lot of brush, some weeds, some wheat straw, that kind of thing. And as you're walking through the fields, that kind of crap gets in your gun. Okay? And not many folks honestly are comfortable with taking the gun apart to this degree to be able to clean it. So first thing I'm going to do, we're going to go ahead and take the bolt out of it and get all that crud out of it and see if we can't find out if that's a better situation to be in function wise. Right? It definitely needs to be cleaned out. I'm going to go ahead and take the barrel off of it so we can get everything out and clean like it should be, right? So I know a lot of folks pull the bolt back and clean the barrel as typical kind of cleaning. And actually the barrel's clean, it looks pretty good. But obviously you can see that that's not the only issue here. We've got a barrel out, we pull the bolt forward. And when we do that, we're going to have to push our latch a little bit sideways. Let me get this bolt out and we'll come back to you in just a minute and show you what it looks like from the inside, okay? Alright, I've got the internal parts of this thing out for you, and you can see the incredible amount of grass and sticks and brush kind of crud in there. And I'm about 99% sure that's what the problem was with the safety, but we're going to clean it all out really good and see what we end up with. With that being said, I'm going to lay this down, and everywhere I pick up a piece, I've got wheat straw and grass seeds and all kinds of stuff in here. I have to cut the camera off. I took the receiver, dumped it into my trash bucket here, and literally just a bunch of stuff fell out of it. So that's a lesson learned. And this is a fairly new gun. The man said he hadn't had it long, but he's just been using it in the woods a lot. So we've had a lot of debris get into it. We're going to clean this up and make sure it's going to work again. So anyway, hang on. We'll see what we can do with it. Okay guys, here we go. I've got this thing cleaned up again now, and what I found out after we gutted all the inside of it, cleaned it up good, put the trigger group and the bolt in the ultrasonic tank and got it as clean as it can be. And what I've discovered with all the debris that was in here, you see that the tab right here, this is what makes your safety keeps the trigger from moving. It keeps the safety, either a safety bar, when you move the tab on the front for your safety, your thumb safety, it moves in front of this post, and that's what keeps you from being able to pull the trigger. What happened was, I'll show you, try to see it, maybe you can tell it here. You squeeze the trigger, this comes up, and the hammer releases, all right? When this comes up, it only comes up if the safety is in the fire position. If the safety is in the safe position, then this tab will not move up enough to let you fire the gun. What had happened was there was so much trash inside the trigger group that the trigger would go far enough to reset and catch the hammer, but it was not far enough that the safety tab would overcome the post. So that's why it wouldn't come back all the way, right? So we've got everything cleaned out, we got all the crud out from under here, and now this will go down as far as it should so that you can manually operate your safety, all right? So anyway, now see it goes down far enough. See all the movement, there's a lot much movement there. It was going down just far enough that it would cock again, but not far enough that the safety bar would interfere with it, okay? So anyhow, I'm gonna stick this back in. I've got all my parts in a line here. Put our front in first and catch those notches just right. Push it forward. This can be a little bit aggravating with the shell interrupter latches, cartridge interrupter, the cartridge stop. They just lay in there kind of, and it can be a little bit aggravating to get it back in the right position. But now, okay, now it snaps back in. Put our trigger pin back in there, trigger pin housing, whatever you want to call it. All right, now let's take it back out of this device. Now by golly, our safety moves like it's supposed to. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and cock the gun. It is empty. All right, and we've got it in safe mode now. Does not move. Push it forward, and the gun fires. And back on safety. So there you go. So there's a good example of what can happen when you don't clean it correctly or clean it enough at least. In this situation, the gentleman had cleaned the barrel like most people will, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely necessary for sure. But with all your firearms, there can be debris getting into the parts that you don't normally get to all the time, just as far as a field strip kind of cleaning. So sometimes you got to take it apart completely and get all the crud out. So anyway, there you have it. Maybe that'll help somebody. If you've seen something like this, let me know. If you got a problem like that, touch base with us and maybe we can help you fix it. All right, thanks for watching.